Yo, what is up, you guys? I know it has been a long fucking time since I made a video, and to be honest with you, I don't really have any direct direction for this video. I just wanted to kind of get on here and talk about a lot of things, to be honest with you. A lot of stuff is going on, and I've kind of been in the background this whole time. As most of you guys know, I haven't really been making videos. I haven't really been playing Wiz a lot. This is old gameplay you're watching. This is nothing current. It's from a few months ago over the summer, but there's a lot of things that I want to talk about today. Um, I could sit here and talk for hours about state of PvP and blah 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 blah. But to be honest with you, most of what PvP has now, or what has been announced going forwards, is not necessarily the worst thing. Let's look at it from a unbiased perspective. The reason a lot of people are not playing PvP is because of the barrier of entry, right? Having to have raid gear, having to have all of that is a main reason why a lot of people are not playing PvP, and that's a pretty fair known thing. We can go back and forth about why some spells are overpowered, some spells aren't, why balance is so good, why balance needs to be nerfed, things that have already been nerfed that need to be nerfed again, stuff like that. We can go back and forth. Some schools are just bad. Overtimes are either too good because the counters are bad, or not good enough because the counters are too good. There's a very fine line that you're drawing there, and unfortunately, over the past 3 years, they haven't really gotten that right yet. Do I think they're going to get it right anytime soon? Probably not. I think the overall balance that they have on overtimes is fair. Besides balance, I think Gearhead definitely needs a change. But the Stormzilla nerf to where you get Storm Blades is a good thing. That should be Storm Blades at Storm's identity. Other than that, a lot of stuff is fairly balanced. Gambits are pretty much not just guaranteed anymore. There are a lot of conditional spells that are here or there. Some schools have a lot better spells, like Myth having Drop Air and Stone, and no other school really have anything comparative to that. Um, is unfair, right? But that's just kind of the basis. PvP has always been like this, and it's kind of a tug of war on what school is too good, what school is too bad, and that's really just how it is. The overall answer at the end of the day is have multiple characters, you know, play what's best, and it is what it is. The fact with the system they built now compared to how it was before in third, fourth, second age, and stuff like that, schools were good because of the spells, and that was period, end of discussion, right? But now we've shifted into schools are good because of what school you're playing against, which is an issue, especially with how proponent my next topic is, which is Q and stream sniping, right? I know I've had a lot of conversations personally with Sauce about this because it's highly affecting him, but you guys know the deal. Q sniping, stream sniping has always been a thing. KI really hasn't put their foot down on it. We know that there has been some suspensions, mutes that people are up in the air about. As it stands right now, coming from someone myself who is deeply rooted in the community, I'm friends with a lot of people on both sides of the aisle. There has been one suspension slash ban for directly stream sniping, and it was purely only because Fred Sparkle Sword was streaming himself doing it, so the devs kind of had like proof, A1 evidence that he was doing it, so they banned him. Other than that, pretty much all the other mutes that people are like, oh, he got muted for stream sniping, has not been stream sniping. It's been they said something in game, they did something along the lines of that. That got them muted, or account sharing, stuff like that. Just typical run-of-the-mill muted, suspension, ban, stuff like that. Boosting, for those guys who have watched my channel for a year, you know what I'm pointing at. Do I think KI is going to step down on this anytime soon? Probably not, because the game is deep-rooted in account sharing. How are they going to prove people are account sharing? They're not. Because if they just ban everyone who account shares, they ban probably a large part of their high-paying players. That's just what it is, right? It's just what it is. It is the brass tacks. That is where the conversation ends, in my opinion. Should they? It is what it is, right? So as far as that goes, that's all I have to say on that. I don't really play Wiz right now. It's not necessarily just because of the game, even though I'm not. I don't want to say I'm not enjoying it. I'm not really. There's no motivation for me, as someone who, I used to play, I got Warlord, blah, 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 blah. I don't really see the incentive myself. I do still love the game. I still play PvE. I still quest. I still play with my guild, stuff like that. But other than that, that's just me personally. I'm not saying that you guys need to follow what I'm doing. That's just me personally. I am focusing, a lot on my IRL. For those of you guys who know me, you know me. You know what I'm doing. For those of you who don't, you know, it is what all Wiz players at some point have to face and realize. Now, there's a lot of people in the community that will just, disregard their real life. Not saying that they will use Wiz as an escape from their problems, right? And that is largely what I did for a long time, right? I played Wiz to ignore, the my last years of college, or jobs, family, relationships, and stuff like that. And I have moved away from that escape. I have a happy girlfriend. I have a good job. And I'm very content with my life, to the point where I definitely could see myself coming back to Wiz. It is always a game I've been playing it since I was a kid. It is always something that will hold near and dear to my heart. I still take a lot of pride and happiness in looking back at what I used to do, and possibly, depending on what the devs decide to do looking forward. This is definitely a game that I could see myself putting work into, as you guys all do. If you're watching this video, you probably are similar to me in the fact that you have spent a long time and you have a connection to this game, whether you want to admit it or not. So yeah, that's the main thing that I wanted to talk about. I want to encourage you guys, regardless of the state of the game, don't use the game to, dictate your feelings in life, because that is never going to get you where you need to be. Don't be like, okay, I'm gonna do this because, Wiz sucks and I have a bunch of free time. I'm gonna go back to school because I want to spend less time on Wiz. I want to get a job because I want to spend less time on Wiz. I'm gonna, ask a girl out because I want to spend less time on Wiz. Because if you use that as your motivation to do something, you're never going to get where you want to go, right? You need to be like, I want to do something outside of, being online for myself, right? You need to want it for yourself. And again, I'm not trying to, dictate that all of you guys should quit Wiz. There is definitely a healthy balance that you can find, and that's the biggest stance that I've had on sitting back and watching how the community is reacting to certain things. I've had this conversation with Sauce, using or letting this game take such a toll on your head. And obviously, speaking to Sauce again, he does it for a living, and that's just the decisions that have led him to where he's at now. And that is an admirable thing. I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, if they could make this into a living, they would. It's just that is what it is. It's a game we all love. But I want to push across the fact that you guys should not, let this game take so heavily onto your mental. I've seen a lot of people recently on my side of the community that are just kind of leaving Discord, leaving Wiz to better themselves. And that is always a good thing, right? But the important part is not going back and like shitting on people like you guys have seen in the community, being like, oh, you're a fucking loser, you play Wiz all day. It should be, empowering people, right? It'd be like, which is honestly what I'm trying to do with this video, is don't let this game take such a toll on you. That's a big thing now, because a lot of content creators and people who have some type of status, I want to say status is not the right word, but y'all know what I mean, in the community, spend their entire day debating about Wiz, doing this about Wiz, and it's not healthy. So it's a big thing. A lot of you guys don't know who I am, but for those of you guys who do, you guys have seen, over the past 4 years, since I started playing Wiz again, heavily got into the community, how much I've changed as a person. And I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of people should be focusing on, especially, life is all completely outside of Wiz. This is not a life. This is not a persona. You don't want to be online and let this dictate who you are. Because if you let this dictate who you are, it is going to destroy you inside. Eventually, you will hit the point in your life where you understand, how much this game has done to you. I was the same way. The amount of money that I have put into this game is sickening, looking back, thinking about how much further in my life I could be if I didn't spend the 4 years. But you don't want to look at it like that necessarily either. You want to look back in fondness, and really just kind of weigh the positives and the negatives. don't beat yourself up. If you like playing Wiz, that's fine, but don't let it control your life. You know, try to build something for yourself beyond this so that you can set yourself up to where you can spend that time. Like me, I find, 1 or 2 nights a week to just hop in calls with my friends, do some questing, maybe do some PvP here or there, who knows. But yeah, that makes your time much more enjoyable and valuable. So that's really all I had to say for you guys. I hope everyone is doing amazing. I'm not really sure my future plans with Wiz on how much I want to be playing. If we're gonna make comeback to YouTube, I'm sure I will. I like making videos. I like talking to y'all. I like giving y'all content. But that being said, I just wanted to make a video, kind of update y'all on what's going on with me and just kind of how I'm feeling about everything, and try to, you know, impart the little knowledge that I do have about life, and try to help y'all out. That being said, if you guys ever need anything, my Discord is in the description of this video. It's the same as my YouTube. That's really all. Um, I'm always open to talk to you guys if you guys need someone to talk to. And that's really it. So I will see you guys in the next video.